The next stage of the pre-flight preparation, after the setting up of the CDU, is the pre-flight procedure. One part done by CM2, one part done by CM1. Usually, but not always, done simultaneously. For the purpose of this demonstration, we will do the CM2 setup and then we'll do the CM1 setup. First of all, we need to consider the panel flow. The priorities and responsibilities have now changed. First of all, the CM2 panel flow starts with the overhead panel, and on the left hand side goes down from top to bottom, and then the left middle, top to bottom, right middle, top to bottom, right side, top to bottom. Then, starting with the flight director switch on the MCP, goes left to right, and then back over on the oxygen panel to come round towards the front, across the flight instrument panel, and then down towards the center console. The center console in 3 sections, starting at the top, left to bottom, center, top to bottom, right, top to bottom. The captain's CM1 area of responsibility starts on the left side of the MCP towards the far right side, finishing at the altitude selector. Then over to the oxygen panel and around again across the front of the flight instrument panel, and then down over the parking brake and across the engine controls to the flap controls and the alternate flaps. Coming back to the fire switches. Procedure CM2. Thrust asymmetry compensation switch, auto. Primary flight computer disconnect switch, guard closed. Verify that the disconnect light is extinguished. Electrical panel set. Battery switch on. IFE passenger seat power switch on. Verify that the off light is extinguished. Cabin utility power switch on. Verify that the off light is extinguished. APU generator switch on. Verify off light is extinguished. Bus tie switches auto. Verify that the isolation lights are extinguished. Generator control switches on. Verify that the off lights are illuminated. Verify that the drive lights are illuminated. Backup generator switches on. The off lights stay illuminated until the respective engine is started. APU selector as needed. Start then on. Do not allow the APU selector to spring back on the on position. Verify that the fault light is extinguished. Left wiper selector off. ELT switch guard closed. Top left middle. Emergency light switch guard closed. Service interphone switch off. Caution with the next item. Do not press the passenger oxygen switch. It will cause deployment of the passenger oxygen masks. Passenger oxygen on light, verify extinguished. Window heat switches on. Verify that the ANOP switches, the ANOP lights are extinguished. Next item. Warning, do not push the ram air turbine switch. The switch will cause deployment of the ram air turbine. Ram air turbine unlocked light, verify extinguished. Hydraulic panel set. Left and right engine primary pump switches on. Verify that the fault lights are illuminated. Center 1 and Center 2 electric primary pump switches off. Verify that the fault lights are illuminated. Demand pump selectors off. Verify that the fault lights are illuminated. Passenger signs panel set. Seat belt selector on, but only after refueling is completed. Lighting panel set. Overhead panel light control mid position. Circuit breaker panel light control mid position. Master brightness switch on. Master brightness control as needed. Glare shield panel light control mid position. Floodlight control mid position. Landing light switches off. Top, right, middle. APU fire panel set. Verify that the APU bottle discharge light is extinguished. APU fire switch in. Verify that the APU fire warning light is extinguished. Cargo fire panel set. Cargo fire arm switches off. Verify that the forward and aft fire warning lights are extinguished. Verify that the cargo fire discharge light is extinguished. Engine panel set. EEC mode switches normal. Start ignition selectors normal. Auto start switch on. Verify that the off light is extinguished. Fuel jettison panel set. Fuel jettison nozzle switches off. Verify that the valve lights are extinguished. Fuel to remain selector in. Fuel jettison arm switch off. Verify that the fault light is extinguished. Fuel panel set. Cross feed switches off. Verify that the valve lights are extinguished. Fuel pump switches off. Verify that the left forward pump pressure light is extinguished if the APU is on, or is illuminated if the APU is off. Currently, the APU is on. Verify that the other left and right pump pressure lights are illuminated. Verify that the center pump pressure lights are extinguished. Anti-ice panel set. Wing anti-ice selector auto. Engine anti-ice selectors auto. Lighting panel set. Beacon light switch off. Navigation light switch on. Logo light switch as needed. Wing light switch as needed. Indicator lights switch as needed. Runway turn off lights off. Taxi light switch off. Strobe light switch off. Top right. Air conditioning panel set. Equipment cooling switch auto. Verify that the override light is extinguished. Recirculation fan switches on. Flight deck temperature control mid auto position. Cabin temperature control mid position. Pack switches auto. Verify that the off lights are extinguished. Trim air switches on. Verify that the fault lights are extinguished. Bleed air panel set. Left, center and right isolation switches auto. Verify that the closed lights are extinguished. Engine bleed switches on. The off lights stay illuminated until the respective engine is started. APU bleed switch auto. Verify that the off light is extinguished. Pressurization panel set. Outflow valve switches auto. Verify that the manual lights are extinguished. Landing altitude selector in. Right wiper selector off. Flight director switch on. We're now at the MCP. Flight display select panel set. Lower center display switch push. EFIS control panel set. Minimums reference selector radio or barrow. Minimum selector push to blank minimums. Flight path vector switch as needed. Meters switch as needed. Barometric reference selector inches or hectopascals. Barometric selector set local altimeter setting. VOR ADF switches as needed. ND mode selector map. ND center switch as needed. ND range selector as needed. ND traffic switch on. Weather radar off. Verify that the weather radar indications are not shown on the ND. Map switches as needed. Right side. Oxygen test and set. Oxygen test and set. Oxygen mask stowed and doors closed. Reset test switch push and hold. Verify that the yellow cross shows momentarily in the flow indicator. Emergency test selector push and hold. Continue to hold the reset test switch down and push the emergency test selector. Verify that the yellow cross shows continuously in the flow indicator. Reset test switch and emergency test selector release. Verify that the yellow cross does not show in the flow indicator. Normal 100% selector 100%. Electronic flight bag. Set. Power switch push. Adjust display brightness. Ident page check. No messages displayed on the title line. Effectivity dates are current. Initialize flight. Select verify departure and destination airports. Forward panel brightness controls. Mid position. Instrument source select panel set. Navigation source switch off. Display control source switch off. Air data attitude source switch off. Clock set. Time date selector UTC. Inboard display selector MFD. FMC selector auto. Do the initial data and navigation data steps from the CDU pre-flight procedure and verify that the IRS alignment is complete before checking the flight instruments. Flight instrument check. Verify that the flight instrument indications are correct. Verify that only these flags are shown. TCAS off, no V-speed until takeoff V-speeds are selected. Verify that the flight mode enunciations are correct. Auto throttle mode is blank, roll mode is toga, pitch mode is toga. AFDS status is flight director. Select the map mode. Landing gear panel set. Verify that the ground proximity light is extinguished. Flap override switch off. Gear override switch off. Terrain override switch off. Landing gear lever down. Alternate gear switch guard closed. Auto brake selector RTO. ICAS display check. Verify that the primary engine indications show existing conditions. Verify that no exceedance is shown. MFD check. Secondary engine indications check. Verify that the secondary engine indications show existing conditions. Verify that no exceedance is shown. Status display switch push. Check status messages. Checklist display switch push. Lower center cursor location switch push. Verify that the lower center cursor location light is illuminated. Resets select. Verify the airline database is current. Reset all select. Center display control source switch off. There is no longer a need to reset the communications. Center panel brightness controls mid-position. Left radio tuning panel. Verify that the off light is extinguished. Weather radar panel set. Center radio tuning panel set. Verify that the off light is extinguished. Observers audio control panel as needed. Flight deck door panel as needed. Engine fire panel set. Verify that the engine bottle 1 and engine bottle 2 discharge lights are extinguished. Engine fire switches in. Verify that the left and right fire warning lights are extinguished. Center CDU set. Flight deck printer set. Verify that the paper light is extinguished. Right radio tuning panel set. Verify that the off light is extinguished. First officer audio control panel as needed. Transponder panel standby. Evacuation command switch guard closed. Floor light switch as needed. Observer audio selector normal. Aisle stand panel light control mid position. Aisle stand floodlight control mid position. Do not place, warning, do not place any objects between the seat and the aisle stand. Injury can occur when the seat is adjusted. Seat, adjust. Adjust the seat for optimum eye reference. Rudder panels. Adjust. Adjust the rudder pedals to allow full rudder pedal and brake pedal movement. Stow the rudder pedal adjust crank. Seat belts and shoulder harness adjust. Do the pre-flight checklist on CM1's command.